The police will continue combing the streets for the fugitives, but of course, no one knows where these men are hiding. Yet the police do believe they'll have these men in custody by tomorrow morning. Reporting downtown, I'm Stephanie Chauvin. Joe Francis has until noon today to turn himself in to federal authorities. A federal judge found Francis in contempt of court last week after lawyers for 7 women complained he shouted obscenities. The pedestrian was walking down this road when he was struck and killed by the motorist. One witness told me the driver pulled up, hit the pedestrian, and then drove off at a very high rate of speed. 3 men who were floating on a life raft for more than 30 hours in the Atlantic Ocean are back on land today. The Coast Guard says the men were on their boat to the Bahamas over the weekend when a large wave tore their vessel apart. The mayor says terrorism is a major concern, and with a city full of waterways, it's important the police are able to reach all areas. That's why the mayor has decided to hire 20 new officers to patrol the waterways. It's a rivalry that dates back to more than 50 years ago, yet it's still as alive and heated as it was the day it started. In fact, it seems to have grown even larger with worldwide recognition. And if you're a Red Sox fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
The Yankees have always been known to break the heart of the Sox and their loyal rooters.
It's probably the greatest rivalry in all of sports.
It's always exciting. I mean, we're only a couple weeks into baseball season and it's already getting, every game's a great game, so just looking for some fun.
The rivalry shared by the teams with each passing season has become more intense and deep-rooted.
Red Sox-Yankees rivalry is the best in all of sports in the world, period. There's nothing better than the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry games, and coming to a Red Sox-Yankees game is like coming to a World Series game. Nothing can beat it.
But can they survive without one another?
It's an amazing rivalry. I mean, without the Red Sox, there's no Yankees. Without the Yankees, there's no Red Sox. It's the best sports event ever.
Started more than 50 years ago on September 11, 1918, when the Red Sox won the last of their 5 World Series titles. Next, they sold their top player, Babe Ruth, to fund a Broadway play that turned out to be no more than a flop. This trade was named the Curse of the Bambino, suggesting the Red Sox would never win a World Series title again. 86 years later, in 2004, the Sox broke the curse, winning the World Series.
World Series again, no question about it. Dice game, 10 strikeouts the other night.
Since the rivalry has only grown stronger, this past weekend the Sox made history again, scoring 4 home runs in a row, something that has only been done 5 times in Major League Baseball. This past weekend also marked the first time since 1990 that the Sox swept the Yankees in a 3-game series at Fenway Park.
In Boston, it's a holiday. In New York, it's just another chance for Yankees fans to flex their muscles and let every Red Sox fan know that the Yankees have the rings and that the curse is alive and kicking.
And she joins us with this story. Tell us what's going on out there.
The next time a suspect runs on foot, don't be surprised if you see the police chasing the bad guy using a Segway. That's right, police are going to begin using Segways to help fight crime. Today, the city's police department showed off their new crime-fighting vehicles. The police now have 5 of them. The Segways go up to 12 miles an hour and, of course, are very quiet. Each device costs about $5,000. Officers will use them to patrol this area and some shopping malls. Police say Segways allow them to go where pedestrians go and promote positive police interaction.
These are new. These draw more interest from the public. People come up, want to talk to you, want to learn a little bit about the unit itself.
Segways are actually illegal to operate in some cities, but of course they're legal here. And if they work out, the department says they'll purchase more to be used in neighboring cities. Reporting downtown, I'm Stephanie Chauvin. Back to you at the news desk.
Thank you for that report. Coming up next, weather and Kip will be...
It sounds like something out of a movie. A plane has nowhere to land, so the pilot uses a highway for a runway. Only this was no movie, but reality today for one area pilot. There were some intense moments for both the pilot and the motorists. Breaking down on the interstate can be frustrating, but imagine breaking down when you're flying over the freeway. That's what happened to 2 area pilots on Interstate 75.
The plane just came out of maintenance, had 2 new engines put in, and one of them quit unexpectedly, and we took care of that, and before we could even blink, the other one quit. So we had no choice to do but put it down on the highway here.
The plane was on a test flight and had made a stop in Boca Raton. It was headed to St. Petersburg when the aircraft lost all power and was forced to make its emergency landing just north of the Sun City Center.
Lined up over the median, and as we were descending, started to nudge over onto the highway, and this guy in a SUV sort of looked out, and he started to pull over. He got into the far lane, so he knew that we were having some troubles.
Motorists on the ground had to veer off the interstate to avoid the landing aircraft.
I did a quick take because I saw this plane go by me, and I thought, this can't be.
We were losing about 1,000 feet a minute, so yeah, you can do the math. We were at 1,700 feet, so you know, within a minute and a half, we were committed then to get it on the ground.
Both men on board were experienced pilots. It could be some time before we know what caused the engine failure. The next big challenge will be getting this plane off the interstate and back to the airport. Highway Patrol says a special aircraft towing vehicle will be brought out tomorrow morning. Back to you at the news desk.